Okay, good evening, everybody. My name's Jim Brown. I'm the chair of the Board of Finance, and we're going to start our special meeting of the Board of Finance. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we're going to stand for the pledge. Everyone stand for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United
To the flag
States
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and justice for all.
Associated technology delays.
Okay, yeah. We do have a little technology delay, but...
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. Please.
Okay, but we got through the pledge.
Good job, first
So
agenda
we're
item.
at a special meeting. Look, there's one item on this agenda. We have 30 minutes to complete this item. I'll explain in more detail for the public at the beginning of the budget hearing how these meetings for the next few weeks are intended to proceed. But right now, we're going to move forward with this one item special meeting. The Board of Finance members for the public, they are attending via WebEx, so we're having a virtual meeting. There's not going to be any public comment, except for Mr. DeWitt is with me. There's not going to be any public comment tonight. So, I'm going to make a motion to put the item on the agenda. I'll need a second, and then we'll discuss it. So, to hear, consider, and approve for delivery to the RTM, the Senior and Disabled Tax Relief Ordinance Update Recommendation from the Board of Finance Senior and Disabled Tax Relief Subcommittee. I put this before us, seconded by Mr. DeWitt. This item is now before us. I am going to turn it over, the discussion over to Mr. DeWitt. And Mr. DeWitt?
Good evening, everyone. As you remember, last week, I think, we had a meeting and we discussed the updating of the Senior and Disabled Tax Relief Ordinance. And we got through all the changes. I've sent all those changes to you all, and I sent the changes to Mr. Murray. And he was okay with all the changes with one exception, which I sent you all a note on today. On the fourth page, 95-11, Mr. Murray, and I sent you Mr. Murray's comments. We were imposing a cap. And the cap on the senior and disabled tax was the actual budget that was appropriated. And Mr. Murray's comments were, and I won't go into painful detail, but were based around being able to prorate. So if we go over any amount, there are some people that are grandfathered in, there's other extenuating circumstances, but anyway, putting this cap on the ordinance is really quite problematic. So I'm going to make a motion that we remove all the changes from 9511 and return the ordinance back to what it was. And I can read that to you, or you all should have it from what I sent you. Should I read it?
Okay, well, first, can we have a second? Mr.
John.
Seconds, thank you, Mr. Mottola. Okay, so, does anybody have any questions on is this an amendment? This document?
In theory, it's not an amendment, because when we finished our meeting the other night, we approved it with all the changes, with one exception, and that was, well, you know what, I guess it is an amendment, because we deleted the letter, so
Okay,
I'll make an amendment, yeah.
so this is an amendment.
Yeah.
Any discussions on the amendment itself? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand. Okay, Laurie Charlton is in favor, Sheila Marmion is in favor, Mary LeClaire is in favor, Jack Testani is in favor, John Mottola is in favor, Chris DeWitt's in favor, and Jim Brown is in favor. And Mr. Bateson is in favor. Very good, thank you. It is unanimous, so.
Great.
The amendment passes.
So, now I make a motion. All the changes that we talked about at the last meeting, I have incorporated. I sent that document out today. I'd like to make a motion to move that now amended document forward to the RTM.
Okay, can I have a second, please? Hey, somebody's using speaker and is creating an echo, so if we could please not use a speaker, that would be greatly appreciated. So for the record, Mrs. Charlton seconded Mr.
Okay.
DeWitt's motion. Any discussion on the motion itself? So this is on the document as is. No further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, Mr. Basin, did you have a comment?
No.
Okay, just because I see your hand. Okay, very good. Seeing no comments, let's put this item up for those in favor. Raise your hand. Mrs. Charlton, Mr. Testani, Mr. Mottola, Mrs. Marmion, Mrs. O'Clair, Mr. DeWitt, myself, Jim Brown, Mr. Bateson raised his hand, so it is unanimous. So this document is now going to be passed on to the RTM as is.
Right.
Okay. Seeing
I don't know what that process is, but.
that is the only item on the agenda for the special meeting, I'd like a motion to adjourn. Marmion, seconded by Mrs. Charlton. All those in favor, Mr. DeWitt, Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Bateson, Mr. Testani, Mrs. Marmion, Mr. Mottola, Mrs. O'Clair, it is unanimous. So this motion moves on. We are adjourned. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Feel free to stay on, Board of Finance. We'll start our budget hearings at 7:30. Thank you.